It would have been horrible if Indiana didn't manage to grab his hat when he was escaping. Hello everyone, it is Briximus Prime, back at it again for another action figure review, and today we're going to be taking a look at the Indiana Jones Adventure Series. Well, Indiana Jones, I mean, what else did you expect? And now taking a look at the packaging here, obviously right up front here it says Indiana Jones Adventure Series. It's got Indiana right there, build an artifact, that's new. And then Indiana Jones Raiders of the Lost Ark, Hasbro. Here on the side, you got a nice image of Harrison Ford's Indiana right there. And then here on the back, got some product images of the figure, and then just showing you all kinds of accessories that it comes with. And then right here, we've got a rundown of every figure in this new Build an Artifact wave. Basically, every figure comes with an individual part that builds up for the Ark of the Covenant, similar to Marvel Legends, which is basically what this figure is. It's basically just Indiana Jones in that Marvel Legends kind of style of action figure. He comes with the two little bird statue things that decorate the top of the Ark of the Covenant. These actually look like pretty good artifacts even on their own, separated from the Ark. Like, you could even just have Indy holding one of these and it wouldn't look too out of place. But besides those build an artifact parts, here's the rest of the accessories that come with Indiana. Starting off with the hands, first off he comes with a pair of fists. He comes with a trigger finger hand. And of course this trigger finger hand allows him to hold the included pistol. And then he has this relaxed hand with a loose grip, which does allow him to hold some accessories, but as you can see, not too well. As I said, it's a loose grip. He does come with this thumbs up hand. But this thumbs up hand does also allow for him to grab some accessories, so there is that as well. And he does have this open cradling hand, which allows him to cradle these nuts, the idol itself, or just any other items that you can possibly think of. These nuts. And the whip itself doesn't look too shabby. It does have some nicely sculpted little rivets and everything, making it have this realistic appearance. I would have liked maybe a bendy wire. I think that would have looked nice, but this isn't too bad of an accessory either. And as I showed earlier, he does also come with a coiled version of the whip, which again also has that nicely sculpted detail, though one of the features of this doesn't really work very well. Basically, you're supposed to take this little strap right here, and you're supposed to loop the whip right here, and then this little bit is supposed to tab in to this teeny little hole on the belt, but the thing is, it's so rubbery and so small that this just doesn't want to stay in, so it's completely useless. But thankfully, what's not completely useless is the gun holster obviously works just fine and works just like a gun holster. So I do appreciate that at least. Technically, the satchel here is counted as its own separate accessory, but I was just too lazy to take it out and bother showing you guys. And of course, I need to give a special mention to the idol here, which looks pretty good. The idol is accurate to the movie, yes, but now that I actually have it in hand and I'm able to look at it in full detail, it's starting to become more... The idol looks like someone struggling to take a deuce. Yeah, I think this looks pretty dang close to Harrison Ford. I mean, it's not one for one. I still think his skin tone just looks a little too dark. But then again, I think that's mostly because of that he has a little too much scruff on his face, in my opinion. But I mean, it looks like him. And also another thing I need to appreciate is the hat here. I like how the hat is actually molded onto the head, because I had a problem with the Star Wars The Black Series Cad Bane and the Diamond Select Toys Gandalf. The hats were a separate piece, and so the hats kept on falling off way too easily. Thankfully here, Indiana Jones has the hat completely here as part of the head, and so it's not coming off anytime soon, and he's always gonna look complete with it on, because he wouldn't look complete without it. I like the amount of sculpted detail here, and also it's made of a pliable, softer material, so it actually feels very leathery and very realistic. Like, the texturing on it is actually really nice, and I love how it came out. Same thing goes down to the jacket. The jacket also has this leathery, rubbery material, which makes it feel a bit special. And it's got these subtle bits of brown that really bring out some of the raised details and wrinkle. This guy's really been adventuring. And the undershirt looks good as well. The wrinkles and everything look fine, and everything is precisely sculpted. There's the satchel that Element of surprise! He's got the silver right there in the belt. I like the belt as well. I like how it's a different shade of brown, so it really gives this guy a lot of depth to the different mold. And then he's got an extra belt, which has the gun holster and, you know, the whip holder that doesn't work.
This guy's got the right idea. He wore the brown pants.
His pants here look good. Again, nicely sculpted, wrinkles and everything. Makes it look very realistic. And then he's got his nice shoes, which surprisingly enough, I wouldn't expect him to wear these nicer looking shoes out in a jungle or adventuring. What are those? Indy here's got a ball joint at the head, which allows for lots of range looking up, looking down. He does have some nice head pivoting. It does allow for his head to swivel all over the place. His shoulders can rotate a full 360. They can move outward that far. There is a butterfly joint inside the joint right there. You can kind of see it right there. This allows for some nice extra bit of movement out of the shoulders. And then, as I said, because the shoulders can rotate, again, does allow for lots of range. He does also have an elbow swivel, kind of similar to the Star Wars The Black series. And then he does have a bend at the elbow, which bends over 90 degrees. And then he has a nice ball joint at the wrist, which allows for all the wrists to rotate, move all over the place. Funny enough about these wrists that I did want to mention, unlike Marvel Legends usually have a pin and a hinge that are connected to the hand. But this guy, he actually has these pinned little ball joints in his sleeves. And in my opinion, this is very similar to like Eastern figures and like some of the Asian figures, like their SH Figuarts and like Figma. And so this allows for a lot more range of movement out of these wrists and makes them easier to replace as well. He has a nice diaphragm ball joint right there, which allows for an arcing back and a crunch that is out of focus. There we go. He does have a waist swivel. This also allows for some diaphragm pivot, all kinds of movement. His hips can rotate forward. They can rotate a little bit back. His hips can move outward that far. He does have a thigh swivel, which is a little too loose for my tastes. And then he does have a bend at the knee, which is slightly over 90 degrees. And then finally, he does have ankles that move up a little bit. They can move down, and he does get some good ankle pivot, as well as an ankle swivel, which is a little too tight.
That's what she said.
And he has peg holes at the bottom of the feet for more posing options. The posability here is a little limited in some areas, but it's also super posable in others, so it's nothing to die over.
We are going to die!
And for comparisons, just to give you a sense of scale here and what Hasbro is basically trying to go with the style of this figure, here he is compared next to a standard 6-inch Marvel Legends figure, Spider-Man.
Pizza time.
Funny enough, I actually don't have a Star Wars The Black Series Han Solo figure. I should get on that. But here he is with a another standard-sized Star Wars The Black Series figure. And also, just to make up for the fact that I don't have a Han Solo figure to compare this guy to, here he is with a walking carpet. And, yeah, I think this figure, first of all, looks great. I mean, when people think of Indiana Jones and they're conscious, I mean, this is kind of what we think of him. Like, this is what he looks like. So, like, I like how this is that nice, standard-looking Indiana Jones. Maybe we should have gotten a head without the hat on. But, again, it's a very, very minor problem, and I barely have any problems with this figure in general. His expression on his face does look just a little bit lifeless. I would have liked maybe a little bit more expression or emotion in his face. But then again, his dead expression is kind of justified. I mean, he does come out of a literal body bag, I guess. If I had to give this figure a rating, I give him a solid 10 out of 10. And it's not because I'm like super duper excited and think this figure is absolutely amazing. I mean, technically it is, but like, I just have nothing to complain about here. Like, there's legitimately like barely anything I have to complain about this figure. I mean, the biggest thing that I'm the most concerned about with this figure is probably his packaging. With the changes of Hasbro packaging and there being like no like plastic windows and everything, it's opened up a lot of quality control problems, and there's been all kinds of stuff going on ever since the plastic packaging went away. And so that's really the only thing I really have to complain about the figure, is that the risk of the quality control, which thankfully mine did not have any quality control problems, but like that's still, there's still the risk. So if you guys don't get it by now, this packaging can go die in a hole. And that is basically it for my review on Indiana Jones. If you guys enjoyed this review, give me a like on the video, comment down below what you guys think, subscribe to the channel for more action figure videos and content, and I'll catch you guys next time.